So this is the second part. My pilot Bill is in the front. We are communicating on CB on channel 1. But I think he's on the phone. I try to call him and now I see him slowing down. So he asked me how far I want to go today. And so Terrace, where we're going, is 900 kilometers, right? So roughly 500 miles is 800 kilometers plus. So it's like 560 miles. It's not that far, right? 562. And he says, let's shoot for 750 kilometers. I'm like, what? That's 400 miles. I've been on my feet since 5 o'clock Alberta time. So now it's 10 o'clock. So I've been working for 5 hours already. Right? And he wants to go 10 hours more, because to do 400 miles, 750 kilometers, it's very difficult with a load like this. Yeah, this is a nice road so far, like we're driving 90, 100, you know, but they're gonna be spots, a couple, he says they're gonna be a couple of spots, twisty, hilly. And I asked him, I said, you know this road? He says, yeah, he's been here many times. And he asked me if I have a reload. Basically, will I need a pilot again? And he says, are you gonna drive with your booster and Jeep? I said no, because in BC here, if you're empty, you need the pilot. And I'm not gonna pay another 1,200-1,300 bucks US just because I'm lazy and I don't want to stack my Jeep. So the guys will unload. I'll tell them, you know, just once we're done, just please load the Jeep on the deck, and we'll disconnect the booster, load the booster, so it should be all good, and then I don't need any pilots. And he reminded me that now we have the Labor Day coming up, right? And I asked him, he's from Edmonton, I said, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit there waiting for a load back to Alberta, or are you gonna drive back home? And he says, oh, I'm just gonna drive back home. He says the Labor Day is coming up, and he says the place where I'm going, he says that's where they are building a pipeline, and he says a lot of equipment is coming in, but he says nothing is coming out. And he told me that, he says as a trucker I might get a better chance of getting a load from the south. Like over here, that's the only basically project, that pipeline. And he says, yeah, they're not shipping, right? They're only receiving. They're receiving equipment. And so I don't know, my friend Mark, we talked about this, like, you know, how long do you wait? But again, I'm gonna deliver tomorrow, Thursday, you know, and I didn't check the load boards yet, but I'm pretty sure they're dead before the Labor Day. But I'll check tonight when we shut down. And I don't know, like Vancouver is pretty far, right? Down south. So maybe I'll go, he said, Mark, my friend, said, go to Prince George. Which is now, we're coming to Prince George is ahead of us, but from Terrace, right, it's about 5-6 hours. And it says because sometimes there's loads in there, in that middle area of BC, or you know, maybe there's a load, there'll be a load in Alberta, but also from Prince George, he says there's a highway, I don't know the number, but he says there's a highway that goes south. So if there's a load in Vancouver and you're sitting in Prince George, you can still get it, you know. And my tablet lost the connection. You see, now it's all spinning, it's losing the connection again, but I just put in like just the town name. I said Terrace, BC, no address, you know, just the town name, at least to keep track of the distance. What do you guys want me to ask Bill? Because I know everybody likes when people talk on the CB radio. Okay, let's ask him how long he's been doing this. Bill, you there?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious. How long have you been doing this piloting thing?
Oh, 15 years.
15 years, wow.
We used to have a hotshot business, oil field. And I had that for 10 years. And then I was driving semi-truck for CP Express and Transport there for 25 years. So I still got my class 1, but I don't drive too much anymore.
What's the rule in Alberta? Like, how old are you?
I'm 60.
Yeah, I'm 58, and so I'm in Ontario, right? I think in Ontario they have this stupid rule about annual exams. Like, what's the rule here in Alberta?
Well, every 2 years, the class 1 driver has to get a medical.
Every 2 years. I think that's still better than in Canada. I mean, in Ontario, I think over there people were complaining, why is it so often, you know, like every year?
Yeah, and when I turn 65, it is every year then.
But you still have your class 1?
I do, yep. I don't want to give it up. I still enjoy, you know, once in a while, I haven't done it for a couple of years, but once in a while I'll drive truck when somebody gets, you know, short a driver.
No, yeah, I did that before I bought my truck, so I don't want to be a company driver. But I was thinking, you know, when I retired from trucking, I was thinking about this piloting thing, because it seems interesting, and you travel the same way as we do.
Yeah, you know what? I've been to some places where I would have never been before, like up in the Yukon and Northwest Territories, all over BC, Alberta. We were down to Quebec there a couple times. You know, it's interesting, but it's getting to the point where like you probably know it too, insurance is going up, maintenance is going up, vehicles go up, compensation, everything goes up, and in the end, the rates don't go up.
Well, but your rates are much higher than, let's say, in Quebec. They're lower, even though Quebec I thought was expensive. I went through there. And in the States, they're still lower. So you guys are doing better than most other pilot cars.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's, I know when I was taking some stuff out of Miramichi, Nova Scotia, or New Brunswick, I was using Quebec pilots, and I was really amazed at what they were charging. Like hardly anything.
No, over there I used a guy from Quebec, and I was moving a big track, you know, like a crawler track from a big crane. It was 100,000 pounds, and I had the same setup, Jeep and Stinger, and I loaded in Halifax. And just to reach the Quebec border with Ontario, you know, like we went through Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Quebec, and I needed 2 escorts in Nova Scotia plus 1 police, and then 2 escorts in New Brunswick and 1 in Quebec. So it cost me 5,000 Canadian.
That's pretty good then, right?
Well, I think that's crazy. Like, for me as a trucker, that's too much.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, when I was taking the stuff, we went from Miramichi right to the Ontario border. I think they're charging me $1,800 or something, somewhere in that area.
Well, I know in the States, you know, usually it's like $350, $400 a day US. I just had to, you know, I loaded in Michigan, so I had to use two pilots in there. and she said 400 US per car. So if I use them for one day, it would have been 800 US. But then I got late, I had to use them for 2 days, and she gave me a break, so she charged me 750 per car. So I paid 15 or what is it, 1600 US for 2 cars for 2 days.
That's a fair amount too when you think about the exchange.
Yeah, but it was not a big distance, you know. Mostly they were sitting waiting for me because we loaded near Detroit, and I just needed them to get to Indiana. And after that, like Indiana, Illinois, all the rest, I did not need any pilots.
Yeah.
After like 2 hours, you know, can we stop somewhere like for 5 minutes, just stretch the legs?
No, this week, this is the second call that I got this week. Earlier one was going down to Abbotsford, well, Richmond, BC, down to Vancouver.
Sorry?
Last week was very, very busy. This week has been slow.
No, I was asking about like how long you usually drive without stopping?
Well, I can drive whatever, like, I can drive 14, 15 hours without stopping. I just gotta stop and put fuel in for 5 minutes and slow down. Every 3-4 hours while I get out, though, like stretches, you know, getting out, looking at things, getting a break.
Yeah, I usually stop, you know, check the load, stretch the legs like every 2 or 3 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that, like 120 miles, you know, 200 kilometers.
Yeah. You know, otherwise the guy gets cramped up. Like when we were running up north of Dawson City, those guys would run 8-9 hours at a time, right? That was too much.
Well, thankfully this is summer, right? So I would never come here in winter.
Yeah. No, winter time's not too bad up this part of the country. The next 30 kilometers you're gonna have a few hills. Nothing much, so not too bad. A couple short little pulls, and then that's about it. How long have you owned your own truck for there, Sergeant?
Oh, this is my third, number 3. First I got in 2007, then I got a Mac in 2014, and I got this one in 2018.
Oh yeah. So how many kilometers you put on it before you install them?
Oh, well, international, I think I had like 850,000 miles on it. That was my first truck. And then the Mac I sold, it was, I think it just had 3 years, maybe, I don't know, less than 200,000 kilometers. I don't put too many miles on them, you know, because I don't drive too much. I don't do like crazy stunts, you know.
Yeah. So you live in Ontario?
Yeah.
What part of Ontario?
I'm based in Cambridge, just west of Toronto.
Oh, okay. You got a wife and kids?
No. I'm stuck there in Terrace, so maybe I'll go to Prince George. I don't know. From Prince George, there's a road that goes south to Vancouver, right?
10-4.
Yeah, that's what a friend of mine suggested. He says, just do not sit too long in Terrace, just go at least to Prince George, because maybe there'll be a load in Vancouver, right? Or Edmonton, so you can, in Prince George, you can grab either. Now what is it, Highway 5 or something?
Come again?
What's the highway number in Prince George that goes south to Vancouver?
93. Or 90, 97, I think.
Oh, but it's a provincial highway, right?
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, if I'm stuck there over the weekend, you know, I want to go and find a place with some cool, you know, landscapes and stuff like that to take pictures or something.
There's lots around. The Kitimat's nice to see, which is about half an hour south of Terrace. Prince George, there's lots around Prince George to see.
But Kitimat, that's where like the real mountains are, right?
It's no different than here. Kitimat goes off to one of the bays in the ocean.
Oh, I see, okay.
Sure, that pipeline is LNG pipeline.
So Prince George has some photographic opportunities as well, like some good views.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. It's all nice around here.
Yeah, maybe I'll go if I don't find a load, which I doubt I will. I'll just drive over to Prince George and go to a hotel for a couple of days.
Now, you might find the load over Prince George, but I kind of doubt it. This is a pretty heavy lane now, since the pipeline's been coming in. Might get a broken down piece of equipment going back to Edmonton.
So you're saying sometimes they do ship from Terrace and Kitimat, they ship back to Alberta?
Yeah, once in a while, not too often. It's a lot of companies are in there and it's their own equipment, so a lot of companies will have the heavy haul trailers to bring it back.
I don't do too much work inside Canada, like, because I work with American brokers usually, so usually it's either Canada to US or US to Canada.
Maybe out of Vancouver you'll find something going south. You make your way back home.
Yeah, like sometimes I see loads in the, even in, you know, I can go into US like Oregon and Washington. Sometimes they have loads going to Ontario.
Yeah. But usually the week before the long weekend is always slow.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any loads now probably until after the Labor Day.
Probably are going back empty to Ontario. It's too far. You can't support that.
Yeah, it's what, like 3,000 miles, I think? recommended speed for trucks here was because of the downgrades at 80 kilometers an hour. And this thing goes for 6 kilometers. So I dropped the gear and I have my engine brake position 3 on. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do after this, right? So I'm gonna get paid probably Friday, and then it's a Labor Day, and yeah, I don't want to drive empty. This is just crazy. I need to get back home because I have to take care of the cab card and insurance, but I'm pretty sure it can be all done by email or via internet. But the most important thing is my cab card expires, which is like registration for the truck. It expires, I think it's like 3rd week, like 25th or 27th of September. So I still have 3 weeks. But I definitely need to start looking. So ideally, I need a load to Ontario, either from here, from Western Canada, or from US. Yeah, like two options I'm thinking. Either from Western Canada, like BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, to US. Well, to Ontario, of course, but the chances of that are slim. But if I can find a load, let's say from BC going to, let's say, you know, Baltimore, Maryland, or you know, Buffalo, New York, or I don't know, New Jersey, right? So then I can do this load and make some money, and then over there it's only 500 miles back to Ontario. I'll just go empty if I cannot find a load there. So basically Western Canada to US near Ontario. And the second option for me, because again I cannot do loads inside US, so the second option is if there's a load in US, like in Oregon, sometimes Oregon, Washington State, Idaho, even, I don't know, Colorado, I don't care, going to, let's say, Ontario or Quebec, you know, so that would be cool. So it's this, still some options. It's just, yeah, because of this Labor Day thing, but yeah, I think my friend Mark was right, so I'll just go to Prince George. Maybe I'll sit there, right? So I'm gonna deliver tomorrow, Thursday, right? And maybe I'll stay there till Friday, and then Friday I'll just leave and go to Prince George and just book a hotel somewhere there.
This here place is called Mount Robson. And if you, Mount Robson's kind of on the right hand side of it. Really nice picture. Look how it's better way when it's off. If we're coming back this way.
Yeah, 10-4. I guess trucks cannot go inside that parking lot, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I think, but I like this, you know, it's so beautiful here. I want to come back in my car maybe next summer. I got a Dodge Challenger, you know, 6.4 liter, 45 horsepower. I want to come back here with a camera and just spend maybe a week taking pictures and just relaxing.
Oh, it's beautiful out here, yeah. I love coming out here on my motorbike.
But in winter it's too cold, right?
Yeah.
except, you know, I got a 391 ratio. I should have gone with 410. But with 391, at least, you know, when I'm empty, I don't drive fast. So when I'm empty, I drive like, you know, 100 kilometers an hour. Sometimes 105. But loaded, I usually stay around 90. So 56, 57 miles per hour.
Yeah, yeah. What's your fuel mileage going home like when you're empty?
Well, empty, it can be like 7 miles a gallon US, maybe 34 liters per 100 kilometers. But as soon as I'm loaded, it just basically doubles, like 65, 70 liters per 100 kilometers.
Yeah, that's about 4 miles to the gallon.
Well, I don't use Canadian gallons, but I know it's like 2.53 US when I'm loaded.
Yeah, you put a lot of fuel in there, ain't coming from Michigan?
Yeah, but at least over there it was cheap, you know? It was like I filled up in, oh, there's a bear on the right. Check this out.
I missed it. I was going to watch it ahead.
Did you see the bear?
No, I missed it.
It was scratching its ear on the right, just lying in the grass, scratching its ear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I usually fill up in Michigan when I cross in Port Huron, which is Sarnia, Ontario, right? And I cross there, and I stop in Smith Creek, Michigan, which is just south of the border. And this time it was $2.19 US per 1 US gallon.
That's cheap.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, 50, 70 cents a liter?
Yeah, both that, yeah. For 4 liters per 100 gallons. Or 4 liters per 1 gallon. Well, how about 3.7, I guess?
Yeah, it's 3.78 liters in 1 US gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this load here, they told me it was supposed to be 110,000 pounds, but then I scaled and it's actually 105, which is, you know, better for me.
Oh yeah, it makes a difference, 5,000 pounds.
I think it's because of the bucket, because it doesn't have a bucket.
Oh yeah. That's brand new?
No, it's a used one. I don't know why they bought a used one in Michigan at an auction, so it's 2017.
Oh, okay. And then Volvo bought it back?
Yeah, paperwork says Volvo remarketing. I think, you know, Volvo probably got this and probably they serviced it, you know, I don't know what they did, but, and they sold it to these guys over here.
Well, that's a pretty good deal with the Volvo, what you got there for payment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slow here.
You want to go up to the top, it's only another 3/4 mile. I'm just gonna take a quick peek.
So I guess it's the same hill that we were descending a short while back, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Just around the bend here is where it ends, and then it's all downhill.
В разгончик. would be cool, you know, just driving back, right? Like on this road, driving back to Alberta. Like now when I'm empty, I can stop anywhere and I can take my pictures, you know. But the guy, you heard the guy say, he says Prince George is a beautiful area. I've been trying to move left.
A lot of traffic there for a second. You got one coming up on the driver's side.
Over 5,500 kilograms. Report to scale. Now this scale, is it always open?
This one's closed. Well, this way it is anyway. just getting across the highway anymore here.
What do you mean to cross the highway?
Well, the field's on the left side, so they don't want westbound traffic going across the road.
Oh, I see. Alright, what do we got? Junction with 5. That should be a big junction, right?
Well, you got lots of room to get around there. We'll stick to the right hand side here and we're going to go through, straight through.
Oh, the sign says fuel service. Highway 5 south, 20 kilometers, 16 west, 63.
600 meters, turn right to stay on British Columbia 16 west. Signs for Trans-Canada Highway, moving right.
What? You came alive? For me? I really appreciate that. There we go. See, like the right lane, you have to go this way.
Take the next right to stay on British Columbia 16 west. Signs for Trans-Canada Highway, moving right.
Wow. Pretty
Continue
interesting.
on British Columbia 16 west for 271 kilometers.
Pretty interesting turn. Pilot. Oh, he's already in near the ocean. Wow. Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking this road back, the same road back to Alberta. If I don't find a load, I'm gonna go and just spend, like, go very slow, you know. Like, instead of 2 days, I can go 3-4 days because the weather's good, and just stop somewhere, go take pictures, come back, you know. Oh, there's lots of motels here. Alright, the sign on the right says caution, wildlife corridor. Drive with care next 60 kilometers. Yeah, we're gonna slow down here again. BC. I was just asking Bill, I said, I see lots of houses, you know, well, not a lot, but I see people living here. I said, how do they make money over here? What do they do? Farming? And he says says, yeah, farming, then also logging, he says, is a big business. And of course, logging, the way it works, you have to buy a license from the government, you know, and then you can cut the trees and you can sell them, or you can sell your trees to somebody else to cut on your property. But I think you still need a license from the government or something. And then he says hunting. I said, how do they make money with hunting? He says, well, they have like a hunting motel, right? Like a hunting lodge. And so they charge people money to come and hunt on their property. And also they make money as guides because they know the spots, right? They know where to go to kill some fresh meat, right? And so they charge them for that. And then of course they charge them for like a bed and breakfast. Oh, and then it's a snowmobiling in winter. And I'm like, how do you make money with snowmobiling? He says, same thing. They have like a bed and breakfast or a lodge. And then they have on their property, they have some, you know, trails for snowmobiles, some picturesque, beautiful trails. And so people come over in winter and pay the money to stay there and run their snowmobiles, you know? Like, I'm always curious. I'm always curious about this, how people make money. Like, I'm not into logging or hunting or forestry stuff, fishing. So if I lived here, I'm not sure. How would I make money? Maybe YouTube, you know, YouTube, photography. I would probably find something. As long as they have internet. Like, for me, that's the most important thing. Internet. As long as they have internet, I'm good. All right. Welcome to the sign on the right says, welcome to McBride. And we have 70 kilometers an hour. And Bill says after McBride is gonna be twisty and hilly. As it says, check your fuel. Next service 202 kilometers. Well, I got 50% on this tank and I got 60% on that tank. So I think we're good. Oh, you see, but they have ESSO and they have a petrol. I like that. So I can, that's what we're gonna do in Prince George. We're gonna try to get fuel. And you see, I can see they have diesel. So I told Bill, I said, if we cannot find like a big truck stop over there, because I'm not too familiar with it, with the area, I said, then we'll go to the regular gas station and I'll just drop the trailer. Yeah, this guy was parked behind me when I was trying to get fuel. Some French guy from Quebec. He was parked behind me when I was stuck at Petrol Pass, and somehow he got out. I thought he would hit me. No, he didn't. And now I'm so heavy and I passed him. And he left, I think, like half an hour before me. I know I'm definitely much heavier than him, even though he has a B train, but still, I doubt his gross weight is 170, 178. All right, the sign on the right, Prince George, 211, 211 kilometers, which is roughly 123 miles. And a bunch of signs here. Winter tires between October 1st and April 30th, or either you use winter tires or you must carry chains. You see, so this is where the bad area begins. Now check this out. The Peterbilt is flying B-train, 100 kilometers an hour. Bill is very impressed with my truck, you know. He says, your truck is pulling pretty good for such weight, you know. What do you have? Well, how big is your engine? 18 speed? I said, you betcha. 2050 torque, 605 horse. Yeah, so here I can switch off my cruise control because it's not gonna work. Yeah, and they have, and you can see that people are not poor over here. Like very nice looking houses, you know, like rich looking, like a new house. So yeah, people survive somehow here and prosper, you know. Yeah, we were talking on the radio, like planning our trip, and I told him, I said, of course I understand that he wants to get back home as soon as possible, but you know, I don't want to drive 20 hours a day. I started at 5, and I said, for me, the goal is I need to deliver this load tomorrow, anytime. So I said, I'm planning, if we can be in Terrace around lunchtime, I said that would be perfect. I said, is that okay with you? And he says, yeah. And so we figured we're gonna go to Prince George, which it's, you know, 125 miles, but it's gonna take us probably 3 hours because it's gonna be all up and down right now. And so that will be 2 + 3, 5. There'll be 5 Eastern or 3 Alberta time. Yeah, and then he says we're gonna stop there, get fuel for my truck, and then he says we'll drive maybe like a couple of hours after that, couple of hours west of Prince George, so that so now we are 777 kilometers away from Terrace. And so in Prince George it'll be like 500 kilometers. And so if we drive a couple of hours west, it'll probably put us at around 350 kilometers from Terrace, which is perfect for the next day, for tomorrow. And Bill will go to the hotel that I'm paying for. I should have brought a tent, you know, and in summer, like if I maybe I should ask him. Hey Bill.
What?
Yeah, would it be cheaper if I brought a tent, and instead of you going to a hotel, I would give you a tent for the night?
I'm not gonna sleep in the tent, no.
You're not gonna... You won't sleep in the tent?
No.
I was kidding, come on.
I'll sleep in the tent, but it's gonna be double price.
Double price, oh okay, it's like danger pay, right?
Yeah, those pretty bears want my body.
Yeah, but you know, I'm okay. Like I was just talking for my YouTube video here. I was saying that the pilot goes to a hotel, but the trucker stays in the truck.
Yeah, but look at the truck compared to the hotel. I mean, I'd sooner sleep in the truck, you know, than the hotel. I mean, hotel gets 22 different guys a month, right?
Yeah, I like this one, you know, like this one has this cave opener, it's a T880, right? The new design inside the cab, so it's like 70, I think 76 inches sleeper, like very big. And I have doors on the sides, windows. I can open up everything. It's very, very spacious.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my previous truck, that Mack, I liked the, you know, the cool look, but it had the 56-inch flat top sleeper. It was awful. It was nowhere to put your things, and I was banging my head all the time when trying to change, you know, clothes.
Yeah, no, what you got there is nice. Do you think this is your best one?
Well, I don't know. Like, I think I'm gonna buy one more truck, you know, kind of like before retirement, as a form of forced savings, because, you know, the truck is paying for itself when you do loads, right? So it doesn't cost anything, and then you can sell it.
Yeah. And still get good money for it.
Yeah, exactly. So you basically, you buy the truck, and then you do loads, and then the loads pay for the truck, and then like 3-4 years down the road you can sell it. So I'm just thinking maybe next truck get something that has a good resale value, and usually that's a classic truck, like a set forward axle.
See, my pilot truck size, this one's 2011, and I bought it when I had 35,000 kilometers on it here about a year and a half ago. So I got 242,000. So I'll keep this one till about 350,000 and then sell it. And I'm looking around for another truck right now. Like an older one, lower kilometers. And that way a guy doesn't get a lot of money invested in these trucks and put a lot of miles on them.
But do you need a 4x4, or you can get by with the regular rear wheel drive?
No, you need a 4-wheel drive.
Okay, because the one I had, you know, I had a basic rear wheel drive, the Dodge Ram 5.7 that I had. That one was like 24,000 bucks, brand new. But now the prices went up. That was like 3-4 years ago.
Hey, you can get them. Like I got this one here for 12. Off my old neighbors, let this guy go by. And then I had to do the top end of the motor for 10 grand because the lifter's not loose. So it cost me about $25,000 now. So I made some good money with it.
Well, you know, especially in the summer and end of the year, they have all, like in December, they have all kinds of deals, right? So you can get a brand new one pretty cheap.
Yeah, I bought my Dodge Diesel 2018, top of the line, it's limited. I wanted 92 for it, and I got it for 70.
Oh, so you have two of them, so this one is just used for work, right?
Yep, and the other one, 1-ton diesel. I move a lot of RVs for different people, like people that buy RVs and want to move. So I use that for that one there.
Yeah, my Challenger, you know, Dodge Challenger, it was price was 55,000 because it has a bunch of you know, ads on, but I was buying in December, and so they gave me 5,000 off. I got it for 50,000.
What color?
Sorry?
What color is it?
Yeah, that's a Dodge Challenger. So it was a 2018, and I got it in 2018, like end of the year, right? So it was probably sitting at the dealer for 1 year because no people don't want to buy these big engines.
Yeah. And when we get a little bit of weight, it's hard to hear.
came like that from the factory.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, and it's 6.4, so it has that little B emblem on the side, you know, it's a 6.4.
Does it have a turbo?
No, because it's 6.4, like, you know, a regular injection.
Oh yeah, you should put a turbo on it.
Yeah, but it's like 10 grand.
That's not bad.
I don't know, with 485 horsepower, I'm telling you, like, my tires are spinning. If I'm not careful on dry pavement, they're too much power. But I was thinking a couple of years down the road, just trading this one in for a Hellcat, you know, but Hellcat, it's like 70 grand, so $20,000 more. Bill.
Betcha, I just had to send over the pilot. Sorry. You hear the symphony of those pistons?
that means that after this it's gonna be bad. Alright, I thought we would stop recording, but now we'll keep recording because chain up area, you know, that's like in winter. So you would park in here, put your tire chains on, and I'm telling you, in all my trucking career, trucking since 2005, so 15 years, I only used tire chains one time. And I said, that's it, no more. So one time was enough. And I still remember it was Denver, Colorado, coming out of Denver, going west on I-70. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, I was still a new driver. And I left the TA, I think it was a TA, on the east side of town. And the weather was nice on the night before, and I should have just left and, you know, drove further west. But I got lazy and I stopped on the east side of town, which is never a good idea, because then in the morning you have to cross the city during rush hour traffic, right? And so the gods...
Now we're gonna start getting to some hills there, Serge.
Yeah, keep them coming. And so yeah, and then all of a sudden I wake up in the morning in the truck and there's snow everywhere, you know, and the traffic was murder, of course, because again, I'm telling you, like, it's a really good rule. If you're going west, never stop at a truck stop east of the big city. You know, if you're going east, never spend the night on the truck stop on the west side of the big city, because then in the morning you have to deal with the traffic, you know. Just better to cross the city and then stop. And so I violated that sacred rule of heavy haul regular trucking, and then it snowed, and then we start moving, and then all of a sudden, you know, right out of Denver, there's a huge hill.
Around the corner, we're down to 50 km an hour.
Therefore, and there's a huge hill, and there was a huge sign, electronic sign, and it said chain law in effect. Chain law in effect. Tire chains required. And then everybody stopped on the side of the highway where they have this designated chain up area, kind of like where we passed, right? But nobody was chaining. People were just sitting there because, you know, I think it stopped snowing. You know, like, there was a lot of snow during the night, but then in the morning it was not snowing anymore. And so lots of smart truckers were sitting in their trucks and waiting to see if that sign will go off. Chain law, you know, chains required. And then a cop showed up and started harassing people. Yeah, you cannot sit on the side of the highway. Either you chain or you leave. But if you leave, I'll give you a ticket, right? What is this? Now this looks like a ridiculous, and this is Trans-Canada Highway, right? Imagine this. And where's my pilot that's supposed to block traffic? Hey Bill, you know you're supposed to help me on narrow bridges, right?
I did call that out, but the radios are bad. It's like over about a mile here, but one truck coming back. We drove one of your fast.
Bad hill. Mountains, right? That's where you need, if it was winter, that's where you need tire chains, because your wheels would be spinning here. Wow. Come on, at least let's do gear 4. Area. That's the sign I like to see. That means that it should be good now. Prince George, 179. Yeah, it's gonna take us a while. And this guy said, let's do 750 kilometers today from BC line. I said, you crazy. It'll take me like 2 hours to do probably, I don't know, 70 miles, 80 miles, you know. Too much weight. So what did it say? 170 something, right? Kilometers, and now we are at 751. So basically from Prince George it'll be about 600 kilometers, 400 miles. Yeah, we definitely need to go past St. George today. But I will probably be there, so it's 2:19 Eastern time, so it's 12:20 Alberta time, 11:20 BC, so it's still before lunch here. I go by the Alberta time because that's when I woke up. I started driving at 5 Alberta time, so now it's 12. Yeah, so basically if we drive 5 more hours, so that will be 10-hour day for me. I think that's okay. So yeah, so we're gonna reach Prince George and then drive 2 more hours. We're gonna take a break in Prince George, get some fuel. But you see, this is what it is, right? It's forests, turns, up, down, slow going, and you see mountains disappeared somewhere. Mountains are somewhere far away.